Oh, hey, wait.
Wonderful. And they're paying what I
Wait,
asked
are we
for.
still in the ad?
Well negotiated.
Skip!
Like a pro.
Get the job you want,
Skip!
get the pay you deserve.
Oh,
You clever thing.
no one likes you!
Find the
Fucking
right
new
job
job!
at the right pay.
Skip! So today I'm going to be talking to you all about weird childhood crushes that I had when I was very, very young. And I don't fancy anymore. At all. Mostly. Crushes that affected my development so deeply that they led to the deeply disturbed man I am today. Right, so my first crush was probably from the Teletubbies. Teletubbies was one of the first shows I ever even saw, and it was also one of the first TV shows that had more than one female character in it. Lala and Po. Now, Lala always seemed a bit old for me, you know? She seemed like she'd seen a lot, she'd been through some stuff. Like she had her antenna all tied up from, I can only assume, some kind of domestic violence in a previous relationship and things like that. That leaves some scarring up here, you know? And so I imagine her now kind of just having smoked 2 packs a day for the last 30 years, pint of whiskey in her hand, and, you know, she's just in the back of a pub on a Monday afternoon going, "Alright, love, you want to watch some bargain, hun?" No, I don't. Please, no. God, no. And remember, I'm about 2 years old at this point, so I'm not really ready for a relationship with someone who would be considered a bit of a fixer-upper, someone with a lot of mental trauma, someone who'd come at you with a pair of scissors. Now, Po, on the other hand, now that's a totally different story. She still had a bit of youthful hopefulness in her eyes. She hadn't seen the horrors that life had to offer yet, like Lala. But as an adult, and with a lot of hindsight, I've come to terms with the fact that it would never have worked out between me and Po. I wouldn't have been able to live with her. Say we started a relationship, things went well, we moved in together, and I come home from work, I put my briefcase down, I see Po's made a start on dinner, and I know what it is. It's custard. Again. With a side of toast. Again. We had that last night, Po. And the night before. And the night before that. No, I like it, it's just we have it a lot. We could get a takeaway, or no, just custard and toast. Alright. But it's not even like I can make anything else because we don't have an oven anymore. Oh no, that's gone. That had to be removed so we can make room for this giant, cumbersome custard making device. And the toaster, of course. Oh yeah, we couldn't just get a simple 4-hole toaster. No, that wasn't good enough for Po. We had to get a toaster the size of a washing machine. Why? It still makes toast. That's all it does. It doesn't do other functions. It doesn't need to be that big. The toast is the same size. It could fit in a regular toaster. And what kind of colour scheme is that? Silvers and blues and pinks? That's going to clash with the decor. You're not going to find something that matches with that in IKEA. Then after we have our dinner of custard and toast, do you dip the toast in the custard? It's not going to be nice. We know that. So we'd have to just sit there and watch TV on her. Actually, thinking about it, the Teletubbies couldn't watch their own TVs. They just couldn't do it. They're cursed to only let others watch their TV. So I'd have to sit there watching TV and she'd just be standing there going, "You enjoying this?" Yeah, cheers. It's good. Oh, is that Idris Elba? It sounds like him. Yep, it's Idris Elba. Yep. Maybe we could set up some kind of elaborate system where we're sitting in front of a mirror and watching it that way, but then I'd also be looking at myself and her, and that'd just be too awkward. Actually, thinking about it, I don't think I would be watching a lot of TV with Po, because once you get to the end of, say, The Dark Knight, the old again start piping up, and then she just rewinds it, plays it from the beginning. Before you know it, I've sat through the film 6 times. We can't move on to The Dark Knight Rises because Po thinks that Bane's voice sounds silly. Rich coming from her. Actually, how do their TVs even work nowadays? Because aerial TV got shut down a while ago, and I don't think there's any HDMI ports on their bodies. Thinking about it, there's no ports of any kind on them. Because the Teletubbies are naked, they're not wearing any clothes, and you can see everything, and there's nothing going on down there. It's totally smooth. Which would obviously pose a further problem later on, because they've replaced all reproductive organs with old episodes of Friends. And that's not like a modern flat screen TV in there. That's a big old 90s television, which is just jammed in their stomach. So there's not going to be any room for anything else in there. That's actually probably why they only eat toast and custard, because their stomachs are so squished they can't eat solids anymore. In all honesty, if the Teletubbies want any chance of tempting me nowadays, they're going to need to sort themselves out. I'm talking a 4K display, touchscreen, HDMI ports, Netflix. Actually, pop in a lovely set of genitals while you're there. Then I might consider it. Okay, so next on my list we have the Tweenies. The Tweenies was probably the next show I saw that had any distinguishable female characters. So the main female character here was Bella, who kind of fell into the same category of characters as Angelica, Miss Piggy, DW. These characters were created to be purely antagonistic, bossy, and just all-round horrible. Angelica especially, I always just wanted to grab her by a misshapen walnut head and just drop kick her. It's poorly written characters like these, which is actually where I think misogyny as a whole stems from. Because think about it, you're young, you're still developing, and potentially the first female characters you come across are just horrible and what? Misogynies existed before these shows. Even Muppets though, because that's... Okay. Oh, okay. Right, scratch that last point. So, Bella. She was always attention-seeking, and if you look at her Wikipedia article, one of the main things about her is that she's bossy. I had a VHS of the Tweenies, and one of the episodes on it was an episode where everyone had just had enough of Bella. They had just put up with her shit for too long. And that pervy old man, the overlord of the Tweenies, he comes in and he just goes mental at Bella. And honestly, that bit was always just too painful to watch. I'd have to leave my bedroom, sit on the stairs and just wait for that part to be over. And before you go writing in the comments that, yes, actually there is a fit tweenie, her name is Fizz, yeah, actually look at her. Because she had those little beady eyes, they had those big heads, they had those little flappy lips. No, they're all horrible. They're all a disgrace to God. They should all be burnt. So let's play a quick game. That game being called Guess How Many Episodes of the Tweenies There Are. Okay, so just think in your head how many episodes of it you thought there were, and it's 390. 390 episodes of this. There certainly are more obvious characters that you would expect me to fancy from my childhood, like Lola Bunny, Trixie Tang, Jessica Rabbit, Naz, Brandy, and weirdly, a lot of them are rabbits. Even the Playboy bunny is a bunny. Do people really find rabbits that attractive? In some kids' shows, they did introduce sexy French characters. Those being like the French top from Tops TV, the French maid from the Wombles. And sure, maybe you could argue that it was to help kids, I don't know, learn French or something. But if that's the case, why put her in a sexy French maid's outfit? But really, no matter how much you tart up a Womble, they are still voiced by Bernard Cribbins, which kinda takes away the sexiness. There are some female characters who people fancy who are just frankly lazy. Things like Minnie Mouse, which is just Mickey Mouse with eyelashes and a bow. Or Daisy Duck, who is just Donald Duck but with eyelashes and a bow. This lazy designing of female characters used to be so prevalent in children's media. Hey, we gotta design a new female character to market to little girls. Well, what we could do is design a whole new character, give them their own personality, give them their own goals and motives, and then maybe have their character design reflect that. Sounds expensive. Just give her eyelashes and a bow and then we can all get out of here by 5. I am a genius. Characters like Angel, Dot, Smurfette all fall into this trap. It's the reason why I thought Noddy was a woman for years, and I'm still not 100% convinced that he's not. But the absolute worst character in this regard, by far, is Daisy from Thomas. Like, it's just a train with big fake eyelashes. It's a train, it's a locomotive. I don't fancy that at all. Women watching this must have been so pissed off that after 2 series they finally introduce a female character and that's what they get. That's the representation of their entire gender. And she's just Actually, I mean, I've seen worse. She's for a train, because we all know that cars are actually the sexy mode of transport. Sue from the Sooty show, she was another one that I'd always find quite attractive because she used to put in a bit of effort with her appearance. She always wore nice dresses, even though she was often not even going anywhere, just to lounge around the house. With Sue, though, there are some inherent problems involved, like the size discrepancy, her being a panda. She was quite snooty, she was quite a bit, thought highly of herself. Also, she was just a glove puppet on someone's hand. Say I want to take her on a nice date to a fancy restaurant, I'd have to book a table for 3 people. Because she always needs someone around her to operate her. It would be like going on a date with a conjoined twin. So I'm eating my rigatoni, I'm talking to Sue, trying to get to know her a bit better, and in the corner of my eye, I just see Richard Cadell sitting there awkwardly, picking at the bread. And it doesn't matter how well the date goes, if we really get on, she comes back to my place, we might, I don't know, start kissing. Richard Cadell is still gonna be there. Come on, mate, can you at least close your eyes or something? And I notice a lot of women nowadays are adopting the Sue look. You know what I mean? Like the dark eye makeup kind of spread all across their face. I usually see them crying and throwing up outside nightclubs. There's usually a friend holding back her hair going, "He ain't worth it, you're too good for him, you're a queen!" She ain't a queen, that's not an act of royalty. Now on to Scooby Doo, and Daphne's great, but she's no Velma. And I don't know what it is, she's not the most conventionally attractive, but I was attracted to Velma more. And I know I'm not the only one who thinks this way, purely based on the amount of vor featuring this character. For those of you who might be uninformed, vor is the process of...
What's going on here, mate?
I'm just recording a video for YouTube.
I'm next door. Do you know how loud you're being? It's 11 o'clock at night. What are you doing?
I'm just making a video about, like...
What is this?
It's just,
what is this?
they're just like children's characters. I'm like doing a video.
This is vile.
No.
What are you doing? There's no reasonable explanation. What are you doing?
It's not perverted. It's not like...
Oh, it's not, is it? No, that's alright, it's not. No.
It's
okay. Alright, it's criminal. That's what it is. Fucking criminal. Right, I'm calling someone.
No, come on, mate, honestly.
This is hideous. Look at it.
No, well, she's not. She's alright looking, actually. So, no, come on, mate, please. No, hang on.